So let's kind of introduce, I think, the characters. We don't need any of your background details or anything other than the fact. I just really think your name, the playbook that you're using, your alias. You can have maybe your heritage as well if you like. We don't need too much detail. So who wants to start with that?
Yep. I am. My alias is Aggie. My full name is Agatha Bowers, and my heritage is Akaros.
So you're actually from the continent.
Yeah.
Of Akaros, yeah. Probably a native then of this very city. You spent all of your life here.
Yes.
Cool. And what playbook are you using, Angie?
Does that mean what am I?
Yeah. What are you? I think you're a cutter, if I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a cutter. Yes.
I'm glad you knew that. But we can fix this in post, don't we?
Yeah. It's this thing where you say playbook. I'm like, what's playbook mean?
Playbooks are effectively the class that you're going to be playing in this game, if you like. It's borrowed the term from the old Powered by the Apocalypse.
Cool.
Which it does share quite a few features with. There's Blades in the Dark. Who's up next? Or shall I randomly select?
I'll go.
Okay, go on then.
Yeah, so my character is alias is Bang. Full name is Lyra Felicity Brayside. And my role is the leech, which is the saboteur or technician.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. You want to go next, Jake?
Yeah, I'll spare our
he sounds like
video guy.
He's got a bit of an echo going.
Oh, hang on. There we go. That should be better.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Sorry.
I thought you were speaking to me from on high.
Now he sounds like a normal human.
Instead of a godlike being that he is.
I continue to annoy and everything else. So
never.
I will introduce my character whose alias is Tomer. His full name would be Ma'ataomer Barak. He is a hound, and he is, in addition to that, he is a dog whisperer. I have to add that, not just a dog.
No,
and he will often be found with a very skinny, almost ancient or decrepit-looking greyhound, whose name is Kelev. And in terms of how mean and nasty and wrong this character is, he will oftentimes allow Kelev to have his droppings wherever he will have them, and Tomer will not pick them up. And in terms of being more cruel, more evil than that, I will have to challenge our DM Mark to put me into situations where Tomer will do anything more objectionable.
That sounds like a challenge. I mean, could you be any more anti-Canadian, huh? Yeah? Letting your dog mess anywhere that it likes and not... Oh, no. On to you then, Mr. Infinity.
My character is Slide. He is using the Aces sheet.
No, it's the other way around.
No, sorry. Yes.
Yeah. All right, you better lay off the wine just for a little bit.
My character is Aces, and he's using the Slide sheet. God damn.
They're very confusing, these sheets, aren't they?
He is a lot smarter than I am, so I don't know how that's going to roleplay out. He's very clever, very good charisma. He's tongue silicate. Well, see, this is where he's good at words, which I am not. So how we're going to roleplay that, we'll never know. But yeah, he's quite a clever guy. Optimistic.
You're making a lot of rolls, aren't you? I think.
I'm going to rely heavily on all the rolls. Yeah, he's butter wouldn't melt on his face. Yeah, yeah. Can we move on?
Is that a thing? Butter wouldn't melt on his face.
When did you turn into me? That's what I asked.
Just don't know.
Have you've been hanging around with me too much, haven't you?
I think I have, yeah. I
have one question for you.
Yes.
I've got one question for you.
Yes.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Good.
Just.
Yeah.
He's
anyway,
yeah.
And I believe this doesn't bode well, but I believe Aces is kind of the guy that's put this crew together.
Yeah, he's the leader.
He's the man, right?
Yes.
You're
so
in charge.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that.
He's in
for
charge,
anybody
not
that's
me.
watching.
Just, if that helps.
Yeah. I merely mentioned that so that the viewers can spare a thought for the poor beleaguered GM as he tries to get through this with his sanity intact.
And if at any point you think, wow, he's clever, it was a mistake. I promise you that.
Right, so, yeah, now, a couple of us have played Blades. I'd say played Blades before. It was a while back, and I've probably forgotten most of it.
Yeah, one of them was me, so we all know that's just...
And Ange doesn't read rulebook. So the others are all brand spanking new. So we're going to take our time with this. These first few sessions might take a little bit longer as we maybe explain things as we're going through. I hope that doesn't detract too much from your enjoyment. But shall we make a start?
Yeah.
Shall we make a start? So we decided that we were going to be heading down the gambling route. Now, hound racing has become something of it's had a bit of a resurgence in the last few years. Master Vreen's hound racing has been kind of taken over by this unknown Severosi gentleman who had arrived in Duskwall a few years back and has set up his operation here at Master Vreen's hound racing tracks in Night Market. And as a result of its increasing popularity, particularly amongst the nobility, numerous bookmakers establishments have been kind of established in the area around the racing ground. And I think we kind of decided that as our initial score, that we were going to look at the cruise ship for our group, and we were going to try and expand the turf pretty much immediate by selecting one of the options on the grid on the cruise sheet.
There you go, Robin.
And so the idea is that we're going to claim one of these bookmakers' offices. They want to try and take it over and use it for themselves because they have a plan. They have a plan to perhaps start rigging some of the racing and making a little bit of money by screwing around with the odds and sabotaging some of the racing. So, what do you think, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
So when we're deciding on expanding the turf,
Yeah.
is it just on this map?
Yes.
Is it just the path that we're going to go, or is it also designated to an area?
Right. It's kind of an abstract thing. Basically, it's kind of just increasing the territory that you have on the city. At the moment, all you have is your lair.
Yeah.
This small, I don't know, back room somewhere, or in a basement in a building. Very small, nondescript, ill-equipped space that you claim as your headquarters.
Okay.
And so you can expand your turf by taking it from others, from other gangs in the city.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do. So, what you would probably want to do, and I'm kind of going to explain this to you because you're kind of new to Blade, but the game is divided into sections. We have free play, which is a point where you can talk to each other as characters. You can investigate things, find out things, choose your next score before we actually go down into the score phase, where that's where the heist or the action will take place, like the main drive of the game, which in this particular case is going to be trying to take some territory off another gang. And then we go into downtime once that is completed, where you get to indulge your vice. All characters have a vice, which helps to reduce stress. You get to heal yourself if you get injured. You get to carry out long-term projects that you might decide to pursue as an individual, or any combination thereof. You get to do 2 actions during the downtime phase, and you get to select what they are. Also, you can get to reduce heat, because you will gain heat as you play through the game. Your crew will gain heat, which is exposure to the lore. If you gain too much heat, you end up being wanted, and the only way to clear a wanted level is send somebody to prison. Iron Hook. Okay, so we're in free play at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Here is your opportunity to gather any information that you might want to gather.
So you did
with each other's characters, or anything else you feel like doing. You can do anything you like.
You did mention that the new owner of this racing track was from Severos, correct?
Yes.
And what was his name?
His name is Master Vreen. That's what people know him as.
So
V-R-E-E-N.
Ah, gotcha. Now, what I would like to know is try to find out, is this somebody who I would have known or heard of, as I am also from Severos, or if I could, using contacts from family or friends in Severos, find out more information about him.
Ooh. That's an interesting option. How would you go about this? By exploiting contact? Now, it'd be difficult for you to get word to family, I suppose. Severos is quite a long way away. It's several train rides, if you like, several days travel or sail.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's anybody else in the city that you could call upon, perhaps any of your contacts, if you have a friend within the city that's kind of listed on your sheet, you have a friend and a rival. There is also contacts that the crew itself might have. They are listed on the crew sheet. You currently only have one, who is, strange enough, a blue called Conway. He's relatively high up in the Blue Coats. He's going to be a watch in the Char Hollow precinct where you are based. So other than that, we can rely perhaps on a
Keep near the mic.
on a fortune roll, as they call it. You're quite a low tier, so it's going to be 2 dice, take the lowest result. So if you click on the dice roll, select fortune roll here. I don't know if you guys can see that in the dice roller yourselves.
Yeah, I do.
So if you click plus 1d, if you do that twice, so you get, sorry.
Yep, did it, yep.
There you go. And then you click roll, and we're going to look at the lowest dice. Wow.
Wow.
So you got a yeah. Now we got to take the lowest, unfortunately. So you got a success with locations, or you didn't get quite as much info. Full success. Yes, you know of this Master Vreen. He's pretty well connected, as far as you're aware. He is from Severos. He did arrive here several years ago. He has a lot of quite high-profile investors that have bought into his scheme of running this dog racing track. You also know that none of these investors have yet received a return on their investment, despite the fact that this thing has been running for quite some time. It is rumored that maybe Master Vreen isn't all he says he is, and that he might be a bit of a con man himself. So you found out that through your various contacts and messages to family, maybe, or people in Severos that you might know. Anybody else want to do anything?
Well, I'd like to actually share this with the party. Guys, I know this guy. I've heard of him. I mean, if we're gonna start by taking over some bookie's office and take up bets and then play based on the bets, kind of try to, favor one dog over another. I mean, this Master Vreen guy, I don't think he knows what he's doing. I think he was dealing more with horses and thought he'd come here and do horse racing. When he found out there weren't many horses here, decided to do the dogs instead. I know dogs. I know how to give them just the right amount to boost so that they'll be fast, without giving them any, heart attacks during the race. I think we could do this. I think we could beat him to his own game. And then, once the investors get mad at him for not, producing a return on their investments, then we just take over the whole race itself. Kick him out of here, send him back to Severos.
Do you know, what kind of man he was? Is he a man that can be crossed?
The problem is he has a couple of high profile investors, so we got to make sure that they're hurt enough by him so that they'll abandon him. If they feel that their investment is still viable with him, then they will try to prop him up.
Do we know where he lives in the city?
We know where he works.
Yes, but if he wasn't to turn up on a big day, the big investors wouldn't be able to place their bets and would have to turn to an alternative, right? What if we made sure that he didn't turn up and we were indeed that alternative?
I think a good way to prove that we would be that alternative would be to run our betting office successfully first and become noticed by these investors.
Set up a betting shop, put ourselves out there, and when the time's right and a big race comes up, we make sure that Mr. Vreen misses his opportunity to collect on the gamble, and we simply step in. I think that might work. Yes.
But instead of setting up a betting shop, wouldn't it be better to take over one that's already in existence?
Yes, but how and who? Who do we know has a betting shop already established at the races?
Well, that sounds like a gather information kind of role would be required.
Yes, it does.
Well, I think would Aces know that? Oh.
Aces. He's
a gambler, right?
Yeah, he's been down to the thing before. He's probably saying that as he's thinking in his head of who might be a good candidate. You want me to roll?
I'm just wondering.
I feel like it's a roll.
Would he have any? I'm trying to think who he would contact. I mean, you can make another fortune roll if you like and see what kind of information you can get.
He would have his contacts that he places his bets with.
Like that would be
is
his vice dealer as well, right?
Which is Master Breed.
Wait, what?
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, maybe. Oh, this is awkward now.
Well, are there any other bookies you owe a lot of money to that you want to take out of the picture?
I mean, I'm all for replacing Master Breed. But I mean,
like
I don't need him,
right? You don't have to go to him.
I mean. I feel like I just scuppered the whole plan.
No, but for what I can gather, I mean, Toma is not suggesting you take out Master Vreen yet.
It's just overtime.
Yes,
Yeah,
overtime.
not yet, anyway.
We have to think in baby criminal steps.
Yeah.
But, I suppose we take the man's dagger himself and kill him with it. I go and
I'll do that.
No, not literally. Not literally, Aggie. Calm down. What I meant is, I know him. I go and have a chat with him. Maybe he tells me who the weaker candidate is at the races. Tell him I'm interested in my own bookies. I'm sure, with the amount of money I've thrown his way, he could point me in the right direction. Point us in the right direction, of course.
And then we kill the other bookies.
Maybe, Aggie. Maybe. Not.
If you go to Master Breen, won't you in turn be working for him?
Which makes the double cross
exactly
all the more sweet.
Killing him with his own knife.
Okay.
He provides us with the information to start and probably even will help fund us and provide us a bit of collateral and capital, if you know what I mean.
Got my own knife. I don't need to use it.
Aggie, put the knife down. We're not ready yet. God.
It's just if he like. Okay.
And then, but that's the basic plan. He's not going to expect us to turn around in a bit of time and take over and wipe him out.
I mean, how well does he know you?
I've spent quite a lot with him. I'm his number one
Not what I
clientele. I have my own stool at his betting booth.
That's not what I asked.
Oh.
How
Well,
well does he know you?
he knows me enough.
So who are we killing?
We're not
We
Aggie.
don't know yet. We're gonna figure it out.
Oh.
Aggie, I promise you I will find
Who
you
do you wanna
someone
kill?
this week. Just calm down.
Who do you want to kill?
Well, we don't want...
Well, I would like to kill the people that originally took the dog racing place from my family, but we'll go step by step and kill anyone.
Let's just say it's Mr. Breen. Like, let's
No,
Let's
it's
go
not
for
Mr.
him.
Vreen. It's not Mr. Vreen. No killing Mr. Vreen yet.
let her run free.
No, bang. Don't encourage her. You know better. I know what you're doing here. I've told you all, we're not that sort of crew anymore. We're trying to do this the better way. The way that doesn't end up us all going into hiding. Again.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Right.
So I'm not going... Okay, if I don't kill them, can I stab them?
In a dark...
I mean,
I tell you what... I tell you what, Aggie, when we come to needing Mr. Vreen to not attend the races, you can stab him in an alleyway on his way. How's that?
Deal.
Good.
In the knee.
Yes. Right, I tell you what, why don't two of you go to the races, see if you can scout out our competition, and me and the other will go to visit Mr. Vreen and have a nice conversation, see if he can point us in the right direction. Maybe even, like I said, give us a bit of capital to start up. Don't know about you, but I won't be able to pay out many bets if we go the wrong way.
I'm not very good in crowds because I only get to see the middle bits and the knee.
You can go down. We'll get you in close, and you can watch the dogs.
I need to get the front though, because it's crowds seen bum.
I tell you what.
Explain that Aggie is actually very, very small, like a child. Yes.
I tell you what, Bang, you take Aggie down to the races, and then to make it cheerful, Aggie, I'm pretty sure if any of the animals get injured, you can help put them down. How's that?
Whoa, whoa, less of that.
Whoa! Let's just calm down a little bit. I don't harm animals. What do you think? I'm a barbarian. Do you think I just murder anything?
You're drawing the line there. No.
Well,
line over.
Then put down the person who's putting down the animals, Aggie.
That's fine.
Fine, right. Jeez,
We
Tom.
don't have to kill somebody, seriously. We just agreed to go and attack someone.
Tama, why don't you come with me? It would help Mr. Vreen see that we're legitimate if we have an expert with animals with us.
Yeah, the camaraderie between me and him, both being from Severos, might give us a little credibility. Kelev, come, join us.
Yes. Aggie,
That
make
dog
sure if you kill somebody,
sting.
you don't do it in front of everyone again.
So we're going to go and kill the people that are killing the dogs.
No, yes. Go kill a person. Not kill.
No, we're not.
Try
we're
not
not
to
killing
kill
anyone
them
today.
again. You know the rules on the killing.
We need to get
But-
some money in.
If you happen to find one of the doctors who puts the dogs down in a corridor between the tents and that, feel free.
So what are we going for?
We
look at
are
them.
now legitimate business people doing illegitimate business dealings. That is it.
And we're going to need a free booth and get rid of somebody who's in that booth, Aggie.
So you want me to go in and kick some people out of booths and wait for you to come down?
No, we want you to go down there, scout the area, see what opportunities there are to kill somebody. Then when we know who we're killing or getting rid of, once we've spoken to Mr. Vreen, we'll meet you at the races and we can go from there and just do what we need to.
I'm just going to go and play with the dogs.
Yes, okay, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, so we're not killing anyone today.
Well, I mean, if opportunity arises, but we should be killing. I've told you, killing is not what we need to do. Blackmail,
Why?
hurting, and maybe tying up and locking in a box somewhere. Yes, you know what happens when we kill.
There's very little money in killing. Big business, that's where the money is.
Yes, and if somebody dies at the races will be shut down for a while for investigation. That's not going to help anybody, is it?
Oh, but it's so fun to watch Aggie panic after she kills someone.
Aggie, I want your word, no killing today, please.
Fine.
Good.
Okay, so we're heading up
Did you
to the-
cross your fingers behind your back? I was standing right behind you.
Maybe. Your dog stinks. You said you were going to bath it.
All right.
Let's go.
I like.
So,
Kelev, poop in her room.
so we're heading over to Night Market, which is quite a busy part of town. Now, one thing we have to explain is that in Duskwall it's always nighttime. Since the sun was destroyed 1,000 years ago, everywhere is always night. So it's usually foggy. It's usually quite cold. But Night Market is a bustling area. There are neon electric lit signs everywhere, proclaiming nightclubs, gambling den, strip clubs, all that kind of malarkey. Master Vreen's hound race kind of sits right in the middle of Night Market, and the kind of signs light up fog all around it with the Master Vreen neon lit casting this kind of eerie glow all the way through the fog, and it kind of allowing you to navigate there quite easily. Not that you have any problems, because obviously Ace is like that, apparently, with Master Vreen.
In the know.
Who'd have known?
Yeah, well, that's a shocker. So, you can make your ways down to Night Market, guys, on the little map here, if you so desire. You know Master Vreen well, do you, Aces?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be fairly easy, I guess, for you and Toma to kind of gain like an audience with this man.
Yeah.
His office kind of is it's a wooden shack, kind of on stilts, if you like, kind of with a clear view over the track. Inside, there's a fire going in a brick or stone fireplace. It's a little bit run down, despite the fact that he's been here for some years, and he's had all this investment. It's quite run down. The floorboards are creaking quite a lot as you make your way across them towards his office, up the stairs to his office shack. But he, as he opens the door, you enter and he's sitting behind his desk. He's quite well dressed. He's obviously doing all right for himself. He gets up as you enter, and he smiles warmly. You recognize him instantly as a fellow Severosi, Toma. And he steps out from behind his desk and he shakes your hand vigorously at Ace. Aces, my man.
Vreen, how are you?
Ah, well, business is good, my friend. Business is good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
How are you?
Not bad, not bad. But, yes, I have a proposition I want to run past you. Bit of an idea.
See. Please. He gestures to some chairs at the
Thank you.
side of his desk and sits down himself.
This is my colleague, Dr. Toma, by the way.
At his service.
Speciality in veterinary.
Oh.
I take less than healthy dogs and make them healthy, and the reverse could be done as well, of course.
Is Kelev with you?
Yes, he is.
I see. And he kind of tries to call Kelev over to him. Does Kelev go?
I'll give him a nod. We want to make a good impression.
Yeah, and so Kelev wanders over and he kind of scratches the dog behind its ears.
Oh, he loves that.
Yeah. So, a business proposition from you. This is most unusual. What would this be?
First of all, let me just say, Vreen, everything you do, I respect very highly, and I in no way intend to step on your toes, to sort of see, but me and a few of my colleagues here, we've been looking at setting up our own shop at the races.
Oh.
But, I mean, I don't want to sound stupid, but I'm not that to jump in without any conversation with somebody who I respect in that area, if you know what I mean. Which is why I've come to you. I'd like a bit of advice.
Oh, well, I am just merely the humble owner of this establishment. You were intending to set up a bookmaker's. Is that am I correct?
Yes, I mean, it's no secret, Veen, that I'm very fond of the odd gambling here and there. And whilst I enjoy my spoils and losses, mainly the losses, I have decided that maybe my love of gambling is slightly misdirected. And rather than being the player at the table, maybe it's time I tried being the house.
And what is it that I can do for you?
Well, it's no surprise, as I'm sure you're aware, that the dog races are already somewhat full. Every booth is taken, and every keep pays his way. And of course, I'm happy to join any waiting list, but I was wondering if maybe you knew if any bookie was maybe thinking of packing up shop, could be bought out, not quite up to date on his rent, that maybe I could persuade to hand over.
He thinks for a moment. Vinny's, he says. Vinny's. I think the last I heard they were struggling a little financially. I believe they'd had some financial input from another party though.
I see.
A group known as the Growlers. Perhaps you've heard of them.
The name rings a bell, but I couldn't say for certain. There's quite a few groups in this city these days.
Well, Vinny's may be your best bet if you're wanting to invest. Says.
Yes.
You feel the air quotes.
I may have a conversation.
Not too far. And he gives you direction.
And this Vinny, he does this business on his own? Or is he a family man?
Vinny, no, he's the owner of the shop. He has a couple of employees that work there. Word is that since the Growlers invested, that there's a number of them also, perhaps.
Oh, I see.
Acting as security.
Yes, obviously protecting their investment.
Yes.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate it. I should make myself an appointment to go and see this Finny. And see if he's longing for retirement or just maybe a new investment.
Yes, you should definitely do that.
Ah, good.
And once you've done that, of course, please come back and see me, and we'll see if we can arrange something.
Of course, I would happily take any advice you could give me in setting up my own small little establishment. Maybe you might be willing to invest in me if ever you should see. I know you already have quite a bit under your belt, but...
Well, I am open to most, financial agreements that are mutually beneficial, of course.
Of course. Well, I won't keep your time much longer. I know how you're a busy man. So I think myself and Dr. Thomas here will go and visit Vinny and see how he is and have a chat with him. In the meantime, please, can you put my regular bet on at the stands? I'd hate to miss out on an event whilst doing business.
Yeah, I'll see what I can arrange. He kind of gestures out of the window. There's obviously they've got bookies, runners, whatever down there in the crowds. He looks at you, Toma. I don't know, maybe he's eyeing you a little suspiciously, but he holds out his hand. Always a pleasure to meet a fellow Severosi.
We're a long way from home, so we have to stick together.
Yes. That is a fine dog.
He's a loyal companion, but I admit to missing the horses. Why don't they have horses here? Now that would be something good for you to invest in, horse racing. Imagine that. A man like you being so successful, importing horses from Severos for the tracks here.
I would suspect I would need a slightly bigger track.
Well, imagine though the crowds. There's nothing like horse racing with humans.
If only a track could be built in this small city.
Space is a premium.
Of course, it's not the first time we've reclaimed a bit of land in this city, is it not?
He shrugs. So down in the crowds, Aggie and Bang. There's a mix of smells, sights, and sounds down here. There's a large crowd has kind of gathered already. Here amongst there are kind of the wealthy mixing with the lower classes who are. The smell of sweat and desperation is quite strong down here. There are booths selling various different types of food as well, and all of these kind of scents are mixing in the fog that's swirling around you and these people. You hear cheering and perhaps the sound of a gun periodically as a race starts, and the crowd goes wild as the dogs chase around the track. What are you doing down here? Is there anything? Oops. No. Crapped out.
Yeah, he's just crapped out. He said he'd be back. He says his computer died and then he went. So if we just sort of lean over a bit.
Yeah. Is there anything down here that you're looking for in particular? Or do you just want to end this scene and go?
I think we would have probably we'd have gone and checked out all of the different places.
Yeah.
The what do you call them? The bookies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
each of the bookies, like, just...
I was going to call them the betters, but that's not the right word.
What they're going to be is basically they're going to have perhaps they have little kind of tents kind of set up depending on the weather here, but these guys are kind of basically there's a guy there who's kind of making notes. Each of them got these guys that are kind of writing things down in notebooks. Periodically they're passing them to somebody who then runs off at high speed, clearly going back to the shop where various notes on odds and that will be placed on the chalkboards and whatever that they have in the actual betting shops where people are going in to make their bets. So you're kind of watching this kind of process happen on a kind of a large scale. You have these different bookie shops that obviously have the representatives here, and they're kind of sending these runners back and forth, carrying these notes. You notice there's like a compound where the dogs are held before the races. It's probably quite. You probably noticed that the security's fairly lax, maybe here, in terms of plans of sabotaging races, and it probably wouldn't be too hard.
So, like, is it like the way we're watching it and where the dogs are? Is it like with not like current dog racing? Is there a certain set of people that handle these dogs? dogs, or is it the owners coming out?
I think it's probably elements of both.
Okay.
You'll have some people there that are employed by the racing track, the grounds, but the owners and the handlers are there, and the trainers, are there, taking care of the dogs, making sure that they're all fit and healthy to run. There's probably people employed by the track who will be running around checking the dogs as well, checking them over to make sure that there's nothing untoward with the dogs, and that they weigh in them and all that kind of stuff that you'd have going on.
I think from my point of view, with how we talked about this previously a little bit on thing, is obviously how my part is going to play into it, with it being if we are going to help or hinder the time frame. That's what I'm trying to gauge at, because if it's going to be somebody else handling the dog before they actually get set, or whether we need to hire somebody, or for argument's sake, Tomer might be the one handling the dog at the very last second.
I guess there's a couple of options open to you in that regard. I don't know if I should mention them or whether you guys can think of them yourselves.
I mean, I've seen the greyhounds and stuff. That's why I'm asking. I'm thinking of like current day. Yeah. But obviously, they're a lot more stricter now. So it's like, I don't know. With this obviously being high fantasy and how it would work, I would imagine that
I've never been. I don't know. So you tell me.
Well, I mean, I think out of all of us, I probably have the most experience with betting. So in current, each dog will have essentially their own walker that will walk them for probably about 5 or a few minutes before the race actually starts. They will weigh them, handle them. Nobody else goes near them until they get into the cage, or I don't know, would they have cages to set the dogs off?
Yeah.
They would. Traps, yeah.
And they'd probably have an arena, I would have said, that they're in.
Yeah.
Like, they'll have like a paddock, but a dog paddock, with like their own little areas.
But no, that's what I mean. So it's like, it's me trying to figure out whether it could happen in the arena or whether it needs to happen in the trap or on the way.
Ooh. Well,
or the pre-arena, because they'll be like Crufts, isn't it?
I'm going to let you guys make that decision. You can decide how that works.
Well, I have a bit of a knowledge on the track, on where the different...
in terms of your character's background. Okay.
So as we're walking along,
this would be something we're discussing, actually.
Yeah. As we're walking along, I will just go, that is where they bring the dogs in the morning, and then they go into that tent. Would you say they have a tent?
It might be an enclosure of some kind.
Yeah, enclosure. Yeah. And then all the trainers and the dogs are in there, and they get checked over by the vets. In there. And then when it's their race, they come out to here and they walk across here, and you can see, and I point, and you can see, like, as they come out, there's like a gated way through to the track, and then they get loaded into these starting.
And that's something that we can see as they're coming along.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I sort of say, oh, gone. And then I just answer, so what did you want to do? You want to inject him or something?
Well, that's the idea. You know, we've got to gain any money and gain some favour. They want to, help or hinder certain aspects of the race. And with some of the things that I make, it needs to depend on what time frame we're looking at. It's whether, do you think we could get one of these handlers or trainers on our side, or have we got to do it before we get it in the pen? Is the vet owned by whoever owns the ground?
They have a circuit vet.
I think the vet would be employed by the...
Yeah, they have a circuit vet that checks the dogs are fit before they're allowed through.
So we've got to do it after the vet?
Yes.
But before... See, ideally, you would say that it should happen before, just as it's getting put in the trap.
Well, no, they're checked when they come in. So they come in through the gates, and the vets check them, and then they go into the holding area, and then they wait until it's their race, because there's a lot of dogs and a lot of races. So the vets checks them as they come through the initial gates, and then they go into the holding area with the trainer. So you could maybe do it in the holding area. The vets aren't in there, and the security's a bit lax. They're just dog.
I mean, it depends how long between the races, though, because we don't want to, help one of ours.
Well, they do have people in there that go around and pick up the dog poo. So maybe we could we could pay off the dog poo collector.
I mean,
to give them a tidbit, maybe food.
That just sounded wrong. Anyway,
I mean, that's definitely an option. I think we're definitely going to need somebody on the inside, but it's whether I'm going to have to work on the stuff, the serums, of how long we get,
and whether they go eat. But what we could do is we could send Toma in a new job as dog poo collecting, because he never does it when he's with us. So it would teach him how to pick up dog poo, and then while he's in there, he could give the dogs tidbits with your chemical stuff.
Yeah, but that's not going to work.
Look, they don't pay me for my brain.
Nah, he's just going to met the top guy with aces. They're not going to give him a poo collecting job.
You can disguise him with a disguise kit.
Or...
I mean, he's not going to agree to go and pick up all the dog's poop when he don't pick up his own.
Maybe you could just get him in as the vet.
That would be a better idea, wouldn't it?
Don't make silly suggestions then, Mark.
Wow. I've got to admit, this didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. I've got to say, when we're talking about dog crap, that was not, but hey, I mean, I'm just putting that.
At least I know where I stand with everybody, and where they feel my skills are. I just went down from dog veterinarian to dog walker to dog poop collector.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Look, I don't know what you expected, really. Yeah, that would be a really logical thing to get a vet in on our side.
I didn't think of that, because if the vet's in there and they're employed by this establishment owner, that means that he's going to be employed by Mr. Breen.
But he might be sick, so they'd have to have a backup vet. I could kill the vet.
No, he can't. He's not sick if he's dead.
Well,
yeah, but
if we bring our own dog, that would give us access to the back area with the other dogs.
Yeah.
Are we with them for this conversation?
No, but.
I mean, this conversation could go on for hours, to be fair.
It could, but we may be getting ahead of ourselves as well. I mean, I like the idea that you're kind of scouting the area out and trying to figure out how it is that you can sabotage the race. But before you do that, you're going to have to get...
We're about 6 steps ahead, aren't we?
I don't think it's quite that many. But it's good to be. It's good that you're thinking of that. It's good that you're thinking of that. But we do need to first of all get our crew into a position where they can take people's bets.
Yes.
Okay, we'll walk away from the dog bit.
Yeah.
And go over to the bookie bit.
Yeah. Perhaps by this point, Aces and Toma have completed their little initial meeting with Master Vreen. And you kind of all join together. You meet up.
Yeah.
You ladies have a good time, by any chance?
Well, we found where all the dogs are and what we can do with the dogs, but we
know that how you can pick up the dog poo, and we know how you can give them some chemicals.
Never mind that. The dog poo doesn't matter. It disappears on its own. It's fertilizer. It's good. And makes my dog smell better.
your dog stinks.
Why were you looking at dog poo?
Nah, there was some thought in between.
Really?
Yeah, well, there's a dog handler in the pen, and obviously they're going to pick up the poop. And, that's get somebody in to pick up the poop and maybe make the job a little better.
We got a bit confused. When you said scouting out the area, we know that you wanted to rig some races. We got a bit caught up on the race rigging. We forgot about the betting bit.
I mean, yeah, we were looking. I mean, I was looking at where I could make things go wrong.
Yeah, so we have a brilliant plan for drugging the dogs.
Maybe.
We need to go and check out. We need to go and check out the betting people. The bookies.
The betting. We've already got something in the works for how to rig the races, Aggie. Why do you think? Yes, Tom's not part of this group because his good looks. Sorry,
all right,
Tom.
So how's it happening then? Have you figured all that out? That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, well, Bang's going to make the concoction, and then Toma can feed the
concoction. I feel the gods are not happy about this day. I feel like you've wasted it. Right, look, let's not worry about the rigging of the races yet. We can't do that straight away because then that'd be too suspicious. We have to find the stall first, then get running, then we rig the races. Okay?
Yeah, I did say we got a bit carried away because we saw the dogs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't done anything to do with the
Great. So you've done nothing that we asked.
No.
What did you? You didn't ask us to do anything. You just told us to come here, look at the dogs, and for Aggie not to kill anyone.
Scout out an area that might be ideal for doing ambushes and whatnot. Oh, at least you didn't kill anyone.
I don't understand, Aces. On the way there, you told me you were just giving them busy work anyways. What did you expect? I mean...
Well, considering your objective has failed and you've completely sidetracked yourselves,
it's only objective? You never told us an objective.
You were scouting out the area and trying to see if you could spot any good points that would be good for an ambush to get rid of the person that we went to find out who we need to get.
You never told us that bit.
I did.
Nah.
I did.
No, you just said scout out the area. And we did technically scout out the area and extra.
Yep.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
So
right, let us go on our own.
Besides, we have some good news. We have our target. Our mark.
Well, I don't know about that. I think what we do is we have a mark that we're not going to go get. I don't trust this Reen guy. He gave me a bad feeling when I was leaving. I think that Finny might be better prepared for us than we know.
Of course he is.
It's going to be prudent to choose anybody but Finny at this point. Nobody will have expected it. I mean, when has Vreen ever given you anything for free? And what have you given him in return?
The first day I arrived at the bookies, he gave me my first bet for free, and because I didn't know how to do it when I was about 10.
And since then?
I've probably spent millions on him.
Yes.
But I get my own chair now at his booth.
Ah, well, there is that.
Look, I'm not saying we trust the fellow. Of course, it's more than likely that Finny is more guarded than Vreen is letting on, but it doesn't mean that he's a bad target. It just means we need to be careful about it and actually do some work this time, instead of going in all guns blazing or knives swinging, Aggie. I see the knife you're holding.
So, you know the address of the place. You could maybe have a quick look if you wanted to kind of scout the place out before you.
Let's go scout it out.
You can swing by on the way back, you know.
So where's their place? And it's not. It's not actually the races. Then it's right. Okay.
Shops kind of all around the streets nearby.
Okay.
The actual so Jasmine Street is kind of
Where's Jasmine Street?
Where are you going?
Yeah, where are you all going, man?
Not that way.
Where are you all going?
It's going to be around Tea Leaf Street, right?
It is down. It is. It's near Tea Leaf.
Oh.
Totally.
Kind of around.
Oh, we zoomed right in there.
Yeah.
Right into my
Let me help you.
pixel crotch.
So.
Come here, come, pee here.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Where's your doggy?
Wait, he's right here.
Yeah, don't worry about him.
Don't worry about the dog.
Right. Quick scout of the area.
Yes, we're going to survey the area.
We can do this.
At this time of day, the street is fairly busy. It's kind of it would be kind of like an early evening, and there's still plenty of people out on the street. You can see Finny's. There's like a green sign above this shop, kind of quite faded. The paint's peeling. There's a number of windows along the wall. You can just make out they're kind of grimy, but just through them you can just make out there's kind of a little booth there where people are filling out betting slips and things of that nature. Counter at one end, the office is just beyond that. There are a number of people inside that are kind of clientele. And outside, perhaps you will notice there's a couple of toughs, maybe 2 or 3 of them, that seem to kind of be moving up and down the street.
Do they have growler signs on them?
I don't know what that would be.
Well, okay.
But you could guarantee that they are probably some kind of hired thug, or actual members of the Growlers, part of their crew. Inside looks like a typical betting shop. There doesn't seem to be any trouble inside that you can see. There is a back office door that you can spot through the window, but you can't see. That's shut. You can't see through into that. And there's no window into that office. Okay. But there's definitely security, as Master Vereen had said.
Only 2.
2 or 3, yeah. That you're aware of.
Is it on a... is it a single building? I wanted to see how round the back looks, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's in a block. So there's no kind of back way round. Kind of.
There's no back door, okay.
Okay.
What do we know about the Growlers?
You would probably know that they are kind of low rent thugs, really. They're not particularly. They haven't got a reputation. A bit like yourselves. They're kind of starting out, I guess. Perhaps a little bit more well known than you guys would be. And these guys look like they can handle it. The ones that you spot.
Do we know where the Growlers are operated?
No, you probably wouldn't necessarily know that. In terms of where their lair would.
Yeah.
That would probably require you to maybe kind of do some digging around, find that. I mean, you would know that. I guess in game terms, they are they are a tier higher than you.
Oh. Okay, so they're tougher than us.
Well,
not necessarily. They're just
more numerous than you. They got more of a reputation.
What if we have a way of distracting them? Get them to withdraw from the area? I don't see why they would stay in certain circumstances to guard a bookie that they've got. I understand why they're here in general, but if they were to get wind...
I've got an idea.
Me too.
Does it involve a knife?
No.
Okay, let's hear it, Aggie.
Right.
Well,
before we do this, the way Blades works is we don't make a plan. We don't make plans.
Oh yeah, we don't. We're not.
Yeah. What we will do is we will discuss what type of gore that you're going to be carrying out. If it's going to be like an assault, if it's going to be you're going to be using subterfuge, if you're going to be it's going to be a social kind of means of getting in here, and we kind of make that decision. And then we get them to make an engagement roll to see how it starts, what kind of position you guys are in when the whole thing kicks off. And remember, you can use flashbacks if there's anything that you need to do or you want to do during the score or that you would have worked out previous.
I'd say
so just to clarify, you can't make a plan, but then
we need to decide is what kind of approach you're going to make.
Won't we need to discuss what each of us thinks is a good idea before we do that?
Well, you can discuss what kind of approach you're going to make, but we don't want detail. The only detail we'll need is basically
guns blazing.
Your point of entry. Yeah. And I tell you what.
I mean, I don't even know what the end goal of this is, apart from taking him over. Like, killing him? Convincing him? I don't even know.
Stop trying to kill people!
We just need to put them out of business. And how we stole all their money and their score to pay everybody is what we'll determine now. Because remember, we're not killers. We just conduct illegitimate business dealings.
Should we just take like 1 minute to explain, just probably to chat and those who haven't played this system, exactly what happens when you kill somebody in Blades?
I was actually going to ask that.
Now,
because I
feel it's a very important thing to know.
There is a thing. Now, ghosts are quite a big thing in Duskwall. They obviously we have the lightning barriers that are keeping out all of the ghosts that were released when the gates of death were kind of destroyed in the Cataclysm 1,000 years ago. They've decimated the landscape around the city. That's an area now known as the Deathlands, and very few people go there because it's very, very dangerous. And because ghosts are predatory, they kind of feed on the life energy of living things. They are quite feared within the city, and there are a group called the Spirit Warden who will, if somebody dies in the city, the Spirit Wardens will get to the body as quickly as possible, and collect the body and throw it into an electroplasmic furnace, Bellwether Crematorium.
And they know immediately when that happens.
That's the thing. When somebody dies, the bell in Bellwether Crematorium rings, and it is heard in the area around where the death has taken. And a Death Seeker crow immediately leaves Bellwether Crematorium. It's basically a large crow that flies around, and it circles around and around, getting in this ever smaller spiral until it right above the location of the body. And the Spirit Ones turn up and get rid of it before a ghost can emerge from the body and create havoc.
And they're usually followed by the blue coats.
Well, I mean, yeah, the blue coats are the city one. They are, I mean, effectively, they're a criminal gang themselves. They're as corrupt as you guys. You know, they are not good people. They are treated as a criminal gang themselves. They're that bad. The Spirit Wardens are also classed as a gang, but their main motivation is to stop Spirit and Ghost from getting within the city. So yeah, if you're intending to murder somebody, you want to do it and get away as quickly as possible.
When you kill, that's the time to leave. So you can do it as the last thing you do. But if you kill and you're hoping to root the body and like scourge the house, this is not going to work.
Yeah. Don't shit on your own doorstep. Yeah. Is there?
Right. So, how well are they at detecting?
Very.
And
there's no way they will not detect the dead.
Yeah, no, but like
instantaneously.
Okay. I have an idea in my brain. I don't know if it works with that whole mechanic.
Go on then.
There are specific poisons, concoctions where you can.
Yeah, if they're not dead, then you poison them.
I mean, like you can literally, essentially poison someone and then give them, CPR and bring them back. Would that still mean they were dead? So the things are going off.
The moment they're dead, they're dead. Like I don't. That's a good question though. Like if you did CPR and you brought them back.
Yeah, I mean it depends how quickly you bring them back, I guess. Yeah. I've got to admit, it's not something that they mention in the book. But I'm assuming that they didn't expect you to kind of kill somebody and then bring them back to life straight away.
Yeah, usually when we kill someone, it's going to be stabby. You can't CPR that.
Oh, I'm interested to see where this is going.
In a way, I had to.
So, it's not.
I mean, I don't want to risk it on the rolls in case I actually kill somebody. But it was just a thought then. Like you can you can take things that you practically seem dead.
Yeah.
Or you potentially could poison one.
Let's put it this way. If you die, if you get enough harm to kill you in this game, there's not much that's going to bring you back.
Yeah.
So it's what's dead stays dead. We'll go with that.
Yeah,
okay.
that's generally the case. Much like it is. I know we do have equipment and that will bring people back to life. That's not available. We don't have defibrillators or any of that kind of malarkey. If you die, if you get level 4 harm, then it's science.
Okay. What's dead is stay dead. We'll go with it.
We'll go with that. It's probably that's the ruling.
Okay.
We'll go with it.
It was just this random thing that popped in the brain. I know it probably is more of a Monday thing, but you can bring people back. But
there's no resurrection spells or anything like that. Magic doesn't work anymore in the same way.
Yeah. Death is a last resort. So let's leave it as a last resort in any plan.
Idea.
I like it. Yeah. But dead is dead. And on that note, I think what we should do while we decide what approach we're going to be taking for this, we're going to take a break.
Yep.
Okay.
And we shall be back shortly, and perhaps we'll go into the score and see what happens. We did say that because a lot of us are new to this, that this is going to be quite a slow one. So we're kind of talking our way through this as well. Please bear that in mind. Now we've got a choice to make as a crew as to how we're going to approach this particular score. We have a number of options. And I mean, what's the general thinking, guys? I mean,
I think quick distraction, charge,
threatening,
little distraction,
menacing, intimidating,
diversion.
We're gonna make a name for ourselves.
Out of the
options,
options, I say deception.
Okay. All right.
Because I think we're literally gonna confuse them, do some weird stuff, go and sneak in, but we're still gonna end up. We have to intimidate them. We have to.
We have to
tell them
scare them away.
True.
Gotta be brave.
Yeah, we're not just taking them out the picture. We just need we're trying to scare them off for good.
But there are civilians, like normal people in there, civilians. So it's like,
if we
do we want to show our hand in front of them? Yeah.
If we do it in a sneaky way, then somebody will just bully us out. They have to be afraid of us. We have to make our mark.
We have to scare them and rob them.
Yeah. But I think we should try and go a little stealthy first until we're in the house, and then go to town.
Yeah, that's my idea.
Like, because if we cause too much of an aggro straight away, they're going to run away and grab people. So I feel like a small diversion, a stealthy approach, and then as soon as we're in, just to beat the hell out of everyone who's in there.
So
I think we go for the throats. Threaten to revoke their OGL.
Wow.
Yeah. Sounds like
harsh.
So you've selected deception here, then.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
As your, is everybody in agreement then that we're going? It's going to be some kind of deception to lure, trick, or manipulate. That's the starting.
Yeah.
Position. Where it goes from there, well, it could be anybody's guess, right?
Yep. Nobody knows.
And of course, we have to make what's called an engagement roll to see what kind of position we start off in, and then it could all go horribly wrong anyway. So, we're going for deception. So, we need a method, a detail about this trick. How are you going to approach this in a deceptive way? What's
a diversion?
You want to?
It's going to be the diversion.
Okay. So we add the hidden detail, divert. Perfect.
I think a crying child looking for where the closest washroom is would suit Angie perfectly.
What, in real life or in the game?
Wait,
No, we don't hold her bladder against her. We don't do that.
Are you quite a young-looking person?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we know that Aggie's very small.
Yes.
How old is she? How old is she? Can she pass as a youngster?
Yes.
All right.
Great. Thank you for delving into that character development bit there.
Yes, and it's something that I'm going to have used a lot. I actually have I will have like a set of kids' clothes.
I am pulling out a Kojak lollipop and giving it to you.
Put a little propeller on your hat.
Do you guys want to choose your loadout that you're going to be starting this with? So yeah.
Oh yeah.
You do this in your. You get to select which loadout.
In light.
You're going light. Okay.
I don't know. I'm thinking intimidation needs to go in heavy, like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing the deception, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, we are equipped. So not mechanically to have all the stuff, but just to look.
I mean, if you go medium, you are looking like a scoundrel on doing what a scoundrel does.
All right.
I mean, heavy is going to draw attention.
All right. Okay.
That's the problem. It's quite obvious. If you go heavy, it's very obvious that you are about to do something you shouldn't.
So not deceptive is what you're saying. I got it. Okay. Yeah.
It's not subterfuge. That's
normal.
It's not a stealth approach.
Okay.
Like walking into a library with 10 guns on your back.
Okay, and the idea is now you select your loadout. You don't have to select what items you are carrying until you go to use them. Yeah. So you don't have to choose what you're carrying. You decide. You're a professional, right? So you know what you're going to need on a job like this. You as a player may not, but your character does.
Me as a player definitely does not.
What will happen is you select no equipment. You choose a loadout. Select no equipment that you're carrying with you.
Yep.
But when you want to use an item of equipment, you suddenly have it on you. Okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh god, I've selected everything.
You've selected everything. I can say.
Until you run out of slots.
Until
I
you
did
run out
the
of slots.
stream saw that I did the same thing. Don't worry.
Yeah. So that's kind of how this works. You don't have to decide what equipment you're going in with. If at some point during the mission you decide, I need a goddamn grappling hook.
Oh yes, I brought one.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly how it works.
Okay.
But once you've ticked that slot, you have that, and so you will have up to 5. God, everybody's going in heavy. Jesus.
You're normal.
I went normal.
Is it normal? No, no, light. That's right. Yes, it is. It is. Yeah.
Light, normal, and heavy.
Scoundrel. That's it. I was thinking.
I wear a cloak so I can hide it.
Well, so do we want to go in light then, and just?
I won't be.
That's entirely up to you guys. Let's.
I like to carry all my stuff.
All right, so I'll look at the other guys and say, "You guys are grabbing all that stuff. Well, I better go back and get some of my gear too, then." And I change from light to normal.
Everything but the kitchen sink, Toma.
Yeah. Come on, Caleb. You don't count. You just come with me.
Sure. So, okay. Now, we're going to make an engagement roll. The engagement roll is going to decide what position you guys are in when the score actually starts.
Okay.
If it rolls badly, then you are going to start off in a desperate position, which sounds bad, and it kind of is, but it also means that you start, the very first rolls that you make will also give you experience, which is cool.
Yep.
But we're desperate.
The experience of doing poorly.
The only problem is that when you roll from a desperate position, if something goes wrong,
we die.
It goes badly wrong.
Just to clarify, who's rolling first?
Well, I'm going to make... This is one of the few chances where I get to make a roll. Is the engagement roll. So I'll make that roll. And I will laugh gleefully
if it's a 1.
When I roll a 1.
Let's do this.
Do you have a major advantage in this, in what you're doing?
Yes.
Yes.
What's your major?
I don't know, but yes.
They don't know we're coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't. Well,
as far as we know.
Well, they have no idea who we are, and they definitely don't have any
that's
tip-offs.
not an advantage because they might know who we're coming.
100%. That's
No, they don't know we're coming.
I mean, is this?
Oh no! Even if they do know that we're coming, they don't know who we are, or what we look like.
Yes.
It's particularly bold or daring. This thing, right? It's quite a bold, daring thing.
Yeah, I think we're.
So I'd say the advantage is
it's raining.
Master Vreen is so unreliable and so untrustworthy. They don't know when to trust him when they say we're coming. Like,
I don't think he's grasped on us.
Yeah, he's triple crossed.
I mean, yeah, it turns out Jake's really paranoid.
He looked at me funny.
He did look at you funny, didn't he?
But I'm his best gambler. I basically provide money.
Yeah, but he wants you to keep gambling, not be the people.
How much money do you owe him again?
Let's not talk about the owing situation.
Well,
okay. So, it's particularly bold. What you're doing here, you're going in. Are they? Well, these guys are a higher tier than you. That will
only just.
That will give you a -1. So we're rolling one
Everybody's
dice.
a higher tier than us.
Not till we get up a tier.
I mean, I think, we're going to be quite.
Do any of your friends or contacts provide you with aid or insight?
Yes.
That's
yes, Green. Green would have gave us a bit of information on the location.
I was also thinking about the I can't remember his name. The blue coat that we know.
Oh, Conway.
Yeah, Conway. Like, we're literally going to be maybe beating up and incapacitating some gang members that he could maybe swoop in and take away.
Oh.
I mean,
it's not his district, but I see what you mean.
But yeah, something to that effect of like...
We could have tipped him off about what was going to go down, and there may be like a clean-up bit of reward.
Well, okay. Maybe one of the nobles we know owes him money, and therefore we can get some information.
He could have get the blue coat. Our blue coat contact could have given us information on the particular members of the gang, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't like the gang. He might not be party to them, so you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I know him."
You know what? I'm gonna give you an extra dice. One.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Is it strong? Are they strong against this approach that you're taking? I'm gonna say no.
We have no idea.
So let's go with the 2 dice now. For now, then. Yeah.
Just 2.
Just the 2 dice.
And we get the highest.
And you get the highest in this.
Okay.
In this instance.
They're both going to be 1. Oh!
So we've rolled a 4 as our highest. It's going to be a risky. This is a standard starting position, in other words. So you've got who's going to move in first? Because at the moment you've got 3 thugs who are kind of strolling up and down the street outside of the particular shop. There's a number of people out on the street. There are some people inside the shop, clientele, who are placing bets and what have you. We also have a couple of employees that you can see in there as well. So who's making this approach?
I definitely think Aggie's going in first, and she's going to attempt to distract and, if need be, take out the guards.
So Aggie gets changed into a little dress, child's dress, puts her hair up in bunches.
Okay. Okay.
This is not how you thought it'd go, is it, Mark?
To be fair, I had no idea. I should have known better. That's all I'm going to say. So Aggie, you approach the front of the shop. One of these thugs, he kind of looks across at you, gives you a second glance. He probably senses something is off here. What are you doing?
I turn round to them.
You can see the other guys are not too far away. They certainly, if he was to call them, they
stand there and I still go, "Oh my God, you're gonna help me! And I stop pulling him and dragging him.
Right. Okay. So this would be classed as a daring scoundrel maneuver, I think. So, what is that? What is your? We're gonna make a roll, really. I shouldn't be telling you this, but we're gonna make a roll.
We are command.
Command. You are ordering him.
I am. I'm crying hysterical. Go, you've got to come! You've got to come now! Wait, they're being attacked.
Okay. Right. I mean, he's not used to being ordered around by a little girl. So this is, if we're going to start off risky, but the effect is going to be limited. He's not particularly empathetic. He's not particularly interested in listening to little girls. He certainly doesn't like being bossed around by little girls.
So is it risky?
So it's risky, but the effect is going to be limited. So
can I actually help with this?
How would you like to assist?
How would you help?
No, because I thought she was going to say that somebody's chasing her, but if she's saying that they're being, like, so you're saying that somebody's being attacked?
Yeah.
So how far away would we be? I'm just trying to gauge, like, how far.
We're currently, well, Aces is currently in an opposite alley to this building that we're going on in the shadows.
Yeah, no, so what I'm thinking is being in an alleyway far enough away that I can see when she's got the retention. Not close enough so I can see the retention, but far enough away that I'm going to scream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And, in theory, help.
You can pre-plan that. You can say that you were already planned to be further away.
You can click assist teammate, and that will add a bonus die here for Aggie in this roll that she's about to make. Now, Aggie, at the moment the effect is limited. Okay, if you wanted to increase that,
I'm pushing myself.
Well, you can do that, but if you want to increase it, you can change the position to desperate. However, if you mess up the roll, then you are going to get some serious attention from these thugs. Okay? Did you want to do that?
Yeah, let's go.
So we're switching the position to desperate, and the effect will become standard. We've got an assist. You've got a bonus die from Bang, who is going to be screaming from an alleyway, and did you say you were going to push yourself as well?
I'm pushing myself.
Okay, that's going to cost you 2 stress. Do that, I believe.
Shall I press that roll button?
Let's make a roll.
Do it.
Oh! Wow!
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I'm going to start a clock. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh no!
And this clock going to be 4 segments. Going to be thugs are alerted. Thugs alert.
So they are kind of distracted.
Now you got a mixed success. So
To make it easy for you, sorry, Mark.
it's all right. That there. Oh, it's running very slow. There we go. I'm gonna tick 2 boxes.
Huh.
So this guy, you grab his hand and you start dragging him across the street, and he's like, "Get off me, kid! Get off me!" And then he hears the scream, and he kind of looks.
Hey, you're gonna help me! You're gonna help me!
Okay, and so yeah, you're kind of dragging him across the street towards the alley. What's everybody else up to?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'll do when I get to the other point.
Well, we have the distraction, so now we bust in.
Okay. That's right. So Aggie is not dragging this guy towards the same alley that you guys are in, is she?
No, I would have gone further up. They're like in the opposite direction. Like as soon as I'd done the scream, I would have put my hood up and made my way back.
So let's say, as Aggie is dragging this guy across the street, the other 2 guys have kind of looked across and have started making their way towards Aggie and that alleyway as well, which leaves the coast clear for you guys to kind of move in if you so desire.
Yep. As soon as they're clear, Aces is going to quietly dart across to the front door of this building and attempt to just open it and walk in.
Yep. I mean, it's a betting shop. The door is open. You just step straight through the doorway, the 3 of you. Now you're all dressed as scoundrels.
Yep.
It's quite obvious to the people that are in there. And the clientele, they kind of look around as they see you enter. The little bell rings, the door opens, and all the eyes kind of turn towards you. And as soon as they see you 3 enter, you kind of see a lot of these people start scrambling for the door.
Yeah, I would have been in last and just held the door open.
Okay, and a lot of them kind of disappear, and one of them kind of tips his hat to you, bang, as he goes out, but he doesn't look you in the eye at all.
Yep.
Until it's just you guys in the shop with these, the employees. Who one of them is busy, kind of scribbling on a chalkboard. There's like this chalkboard on one end of the room. There's a guy on a step that's kind of writing numbers, like odds, shit like that, onto this chalkboard, which has got a grid painted on it, this peeling white paint.
Yep.
And he's writing these numbers, scribbling furiously into these grids. Another guy, he's kind of sat there leaning on the counter. He's just looking down. It looks like he's got a newspaper in front of him. Don't appear to have noticed that everybody is left.
Well, I think I'd like to nonchalantly walk over to that door or window where that open sign is and very purposely turn it to closed.
Okay.
Yeah. I think...
And I'm going to look over at Kelev and I'm going to say, Kelev Daber. And he's going to start barking like in this threatening manner as we go. He just bark, like making a lot of noise, being very, very ferocious for this greyhound.
As that is happening, Aces has walked across the room to the guy on the chartboard. He's stood next to him and he picks up the board eraser and he's just going to smack him around the face with it.
Oh, okay. Sure. Okay. Is Bang doing anything during this, or are you just kind of watching the door?
What I was thinking, obviously, would we discussed how Aggie was going to get away? Was she going to meet us back here? Would you want to come back here? I mean, we are going to have a fight, so I guess you probably would have done.
I think Aggie's going to have to take care of the thugs.
Yeah, because my thought is, we're doing all this, and then one of my items would be a chain.
Oh,
I'm going to chain the door shut. Once we've got their attention, I'm going to actively chain the door shut.
Muted, Ange.
I think flashbacky, it would be discussed that I will get them as far away as I possibly can while you do what you're going to do.
Lose them and come back.
Yeah,
you don't have to flashback that. That's a given. Yeah. So, sure. Okay. So, Kelev bark very loudly. And the guy from the newspaper, he jumps and he kind of looks up. The guy on the stepladder, he nearly falls off and he kind of swings round, holding onto the ladder. And that's when he receives, well, does he receive a smack in the face with a chalkboard eraser.
And the chalk is just like billowing around his head and he's coughing. So evil.
Yes. So, Aces. There's potential for something to go wrong here, I think. So let's think.
I am going to say, when I'm hitting him, I'm not doing it really to hurt him. It's more to intimidate him, because straight away I'm then going to be saying to him, "Where's Finney?" sort of thing.
Ooh.
So it's more of a whole, and the whole idea with him and with the chalkboard is that there'll be a cloud of smoke to completely confuse him. It's all to scare him into giving me this information as quickly as possible, not to hurt him or anything.
It's kind of like an intimidation thing.
Yes.
So right now this we're going to talk about the kind of role. So if you're trying to intimidate him,
yes.
I mean he's not a particularly big fella.
No.
I suppose the worst thing the thing that could happen here, the threat we've got here, is that he's gonna hit you back. He's going to defend himself and try and strike back at you. So you're using, what ability is this? I'm
trying to convince him and threaten him. I would say sway.
I think you're probably that's fair enough, and I think in this situation that's certainly a risky and
I would pull out my pistol, which I now have to mark off on my inventory, right? Because I'm now pulling it as once I've hit him, to try and convince him not to then fight me, because I've got a gun pointed right at him, sort of thing.
Okay. All right then. So let's see how this goes. Let's see how this plays out.
I'm just rolling sway.
Hold on. Position is risky. The effect is standard. Are you pushing yourself to increase your odds, or are you just going to go with it as it is?
No.
Is anybody assisting? Can anybody think of a way that they might be assisting with this as well? I mean, I can think of something.
We're just being intimidating.
I feel like the dog barking's helping the intimidation.
So that's.
I think if Toma clicked assist teammate, I think that would be fair enough. With Kalev being his doggy self. Let's see. Do you want to go for it?
Yeah. You gonna roll?
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow, that's not great.
This is shit roll.
Yeah. So in that situation, you have failed. It was a risk maneuver. So he is. You go to hit him, strike him with this chalkboard, just chalk eraser. But he's actually quicker than you were expecting. He kind of knocks your arm away and cracks you on the side of the jaw.
Ooh.
It's risky. You're gonna get what is? You will get. It's gonna be level 2, isn't it? It's gonna be like a level 2 harm here, which is gonna be busted jaw. Now, you have an opportunity to resist this and reduce that harm if you so desire. It will cost you stress to do so. Now, when you do a resistance roll, in this case it will be prowess, you will roll a dice and you will take 6 minus whatever you roll on that dice in stress. So there's potential here for you to take 5 stress straight away. But
Right.
you will reduce the harm that he's giving you by 1. He'll give you a bruised jaw rather than a busted jaw.
Okay, I'm going to try.
Okay, resist the roll. So,
yeah.
so there's a little dice icon next to prowess on your sheet. If you click that.
What if he were to choose, just to learn the game mechanics, armor and use it? So like maybe he had like some sort of helmet or something that.
I mean, you could choose armor. That will reduce it another level, so you will take no harm if you did the resistance roll. Or you could. I mean, it's up to you.
I feel like it's not a serious enough injury for me to jump in and say an armor just yet. Cause
Okay.
I feel like this could
All
go
right.
really. I feel like this is just the start of the death.
Let's resist it then.
So-
let's do a resistance roll on prowess.
I can't find prowess on my
On your
sheet.
character sheet.
Yep.
Help you out here.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, prowess. Yeah.
There's a little dice
Yep.
next to it. You can click that.
Yep.
That.
And I'm just rolling straight away. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
So, you take no stress, but you now have level 1 harm, bruised jaw. As he strikes you back. He's got a big sovereign ring on his hand, this guy, whatever it is, and as he hits you, pow! Yeah. That hurt.
I can't type Bruce Jaw into the thing.
Can you not?
I type one letter and it changes the page. Bruce.
I think this is still early access, this VTT, so... yeah. Let me fix that for you.
I mean, if you could. It's going to take me a while. There's a lot of lines in Bruce Jaw.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, he smacks you in the face just as you're bringing your gun to bear. What's everybody else up to?
How many people were in there again? Sorry.
There's 2 employees that you can see. There is the door that's shut into the office.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt something. I'm gonna attempt to just go straight through the door.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Well, why not? You push the door open. And yeah, there's an office beyond there. And we'll come back to you in a moment. We're going to see what Aggie's up to outside. Aggie, this guy, he's kind of pulling him back on you as you're kind of pulling him towards the alley. The other two guys are fast approaching too. What are you up to?
Muted.
I just sort of saying that the end of the alleyway, and I'm just trying to drag them down the alleyway. And then when I get... So, 3 of them, yeah?
Yep.
When it gets to the end of the alleyway, I will just leg it.
Leg it?
I don't know what else to do. There's going to be no one there.
Okay.
Jump into a sewer that you open the drain on.
Oh, you can do a flashback for that.
Just shiv him and run away.
Or I'll
dog
stop
smell.
and I know I do what I do. I stop and then go, oh my god, they've gone. They must have kidnapped them. Help me search. So I start searching around frantically.
You could have previously set up on that, and maybe a crime scene, like we could have spilt some blood and everything to make it look like there was a fight or something. Just to, that was a pre-plan.
I mean, there's always kind of potential for that. However, you're not sure. This guy, he doesn't give a shit. So, is there any point? You just running away, or do you want to, as Tony said, shiv him?
Shiv him and then run away. Still run away.
How far close are the other two?
They're kind of approaching the alleyway as you've kind of entered in with dragging this guy behind you. The other two are still out in the street. They haven't quite made it to the entrance to the alleyway yet. You're kind of in this. There's a gap. The kind of the buildings behind either side of it.
Okay, so I go, I must have taken them. They've gone, and I go, look at this thing here. And if he bends down to look with me, I will stab him in the knee.
Fucking hell.
Stab him in the knee. Okay.
And then run.
I'm gonna kneecap you.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't encourage this behaviour.
So what? We got these guys that are fast approaching. What ability are you using here?
What, for stabbing?
Yes.
Skirmish.
You're going to skirmish. Okay. Go for that then.
Risky standard.
It is at this moment in time. What's your intention with this goal? What is it you want to get out of this?
I'm going to stab him in the knee and distract him enough to get away.
Okay. Okay, yeah, all right. Let's go for that. Let's say that's risky. Standard.
Yes, then.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Suddenly, your blade comes out. You jab him straight into his kneecap. There's a little bit of resistance there, obviously, as it kind of hits the kind of the muscle and the sinew and goes through underneath his kneecap. He screams out loud as this occurs, but before his teammates can arrive, you can hear their footsteps echoing down the alley. You have legged it and you're running fast as you can straight towards the other end of the alley. You can hear their cries and shouts behind you, and the guy going down, moaning and groaning and rolling around on the floor, holding his... Nice one. Inside of the shop, Bang has pushed open the office door. You can see there's a desk beyond there. There is a gentleman sitting behind it, and there is another fella, quite a big guy. He's kind of got a thinning hair above him. He's got a big black mutton chop. He's wearing a long coat, which is kind of shabby, with a bandolier. And he's a little surprised as you enter. They both kind of look up. They've obviously heard the noise outside, but as you push the door open, kind of swing around. What are you doing?
Well, the thought is obviously, if there was going to be in there, I was going to drop something, but I don't actually know. I'm trying to think what would hinder them.
A bomb?
Yeah, but then that'll cause us.
That will hinder everyone.
Yeah, it's something that won't affect everyone. Because I was thinking of dropping smoke, but then it's like we can't really see it to hit them either.
Yep.
I just want to.
Maybe you could just mention that Vreen is dropping him. He's not going to get any more information, no preferred treatments, no extending of credit.
I mean,
Yeah, lie.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'll just look at the big guy, just like, what's his name? Finney.
We don't.
Finney. Well, you don't know. Do you know which
No,
one?
that's the name of the. Is that the person we're after?
Yeah, we're after
Well,
Finney.
Finney is the owner of the shop, allegedly.
Yeah. So I'll literally just look at him like, you Finney?
The guy behind the desk, he looks a little nervous. He shoots a glance across to the big fella that's standing at the far side of the room. But you can see he's actually standing in front of like a drinks cabinet now. He's in the middle of pouring himself a drink when all of this shit went down. And the big guy says, "Who the fuck are you?"
That doesn't matter. We're here for Finney. And at this, I will just like edge a little bit backwards. I want to try and get all the people in the same room.
Okay, so you're stepping back through the doorway.
Yeah, but I'm keeping the door open, but I'm trying to subtly do it, I guess. Just like shift my weight backwards and just like.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
Because I'm hoping, like, obviously now with the door open, they can hear the dog barking and.
The dog is Kalev still barking?
Oh yeah, he's still barking. I mean, unless, Ace's roll was so low, maybe the dog is now, licking the guy's hand and being friendly. It could be,
It wasn't quite like that. This guy, let's kind of say that this guy, he's kind of struck out. It was an instinctual thing, and he's connected with you, and he's hit you hard, Aces, but he looks a little bit shocked himself that he's done it. Almost like, oh, I'm sorry, kind of thing, expression on his face. He's like, looks alarmed that he's hit you, and he knows you're big, scary.
If that's the case, then Aces will completely pretend that he's not even been hit or anything, that there's not a big red mark, and he's just going to move to put the gun against this guy's head. Where's Finney?
Sure. Let's think. Right. Is Toma doing anything at this moment?
Well, I mean, yes, my action was assisting, so if I'm done with assisting, I'm going to actually... Sorry?
You can still do that. If we're going to make Aces do a roll, and I'm not sure that we need to here.
I kind of just want to take like an object from, the counter. Either, I don't know if it's not going to be a pad of paper, but maybe there's a paperweight that holds everything on, all the little, slips of paper.
Either of those things you can certainly grab, whichever. What do you want to do?
I want to take it, and I'm just going to lift it and grab it down really hard so that I'm screaming louder than the dog is barking and going, "Where's Finney?"
Okay. I don't think this guy's either of these guys are gonna put up too much of a resistance. They kind of point back to the office. They both look absolutely terrified. They just kind of gesture into the door behind where Bang is.
Don't be ridiculous! That's not Finney, that's Bang!
Upon him pointing it, I'm just gonna slap him with the gun Like, so it'll probably give him a cut or something.
Okay.
And then I'm going to walk towards the door that they pointed to, and I'm just going to kick it open.
Okay. I mean, Bang is already standing in that doorway.
Yeah, well, I'll be like pointing to Bang, like, door.
Yeah.
And I might tell these guys, lock the front door on your way out.
Oh, yeah, it's already locked.
Yeah, they're not getting out anyway.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I changed the handle shut.
yeah, I remember that.
Stay quiet.
I tell them that anyways.
Yeah.
I'm
just going to panic at the door like...
absolutely petrified as this is going on. There is a noise from kind of beyond in the office. You can hear somebody shouting, "What the hell's going on?" And then a big fella appears in the doorway. He's kind of coming towards you, Bang. He steps towards you as you expect.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm not going to cower away from him. It's literally just stepping back, keeping a certain amount of distance.
Yeah.
But, keeping stood up straight. Like, not showing I'm any fear or anything. It's just I'm moving out of your way to get you into this room kind of thing.
Yeah, he draws a knife as he steps towards you.
I guess I won't. If he's in front of me, I won't see what the other guy's doing.
No.
Okay.
No. The guy that was behind the desk. This fella is a big guy. He pretty much stands in front of you. He's drawing a. He looks like he knows how to use it.
Okay.
Anybody want to do anything?
I
wanna.
Go.
Go for it.
I don't see the goon coming out. I actually want to burst in and saying, "Finny, you're retired for health reasons."
Okay, so you hear Thomas shouting this over the dog barking. Kelev is kind of standing in the aisle. In fact, his heckles are up. He looks actually proper scary at this moment in time, snarling away and barking. Ace you see Bang has backed away out of the doorway, and you're aware of a big fella kind of just emerging. Is standing in that doorway. He's got a knife. And he looks like he's intending to fuck somebody up.
Ace is going to see that and immediately shoot at the hand holding the knife. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not killing. It's a flesh wound.
He's staying in the doorway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're attempting to hurt this guy. I mean,
possibly disarm him.
Yeah, the intention is to disarm him. If you don't,
if you roll badly, you're gonna hit him in the head.
Roll badly.
Yeah, I'm in front of the guy.
Yeah.
Are you? Because if he's staying inside the doorway. This guy.
I mean, if I roll badly, he's not going to be.
He can't come through the doorway because clearly Bang is in the way.
Yeah.
We're in a gambling shop and we're gambling with our lives. This is exactly what we're doing.
My thought was, as we're moving back, if he comes out of the doorways, try and from behind the try and scoot in the counter and behind him. But I don't know how much room there'd actually be to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
because I know this. I've got two guys behind me, so if I can get behind him.
Just put it this way: if he comes through the doorway, the counter is kind of immediately kind of in the front of that.
Okay.
Slightly to the right hand side. So if you scoot behind that, he comes out. He turns towards you. He's basically got his back to AC. If that happened. Otherwise, he's looking directly at Tome and Kelev, who's directly ahead of him, and he's got aces to his right and you to right to his left, you to his. So you can play it any way you want.
It's just
correct.
I had it in my head that I was going to be directly in the way of the other two guys, but if that's not going to be the case, that's fine. Then we'll do it.
You're not going to get shot.
Yeah. If you can imagine the doorways in the middle,
escape.
the guys are either side of it.
Okay.
One's behind the counter and one's on a chalk. Ace is a club leveled gun at.
Yeah.
Right. So Aces, you've got a shot if you want to take it.
I am.
Guy. Awesome. Now the chances here, if something goes wrong here, I think what's going to happen.
It's probably going to come at me.
I mean, there's
pissed.
always that possibility, but maybe Bang is also going to. Is a complication likely to be that Bang might suddenly be deafened? That's the conco subject.
It will. I mean, it would distract Bang. Like if it went off, like she could completely. She doesn't know it's me firing the gun.
Yeah,
it could cause an anti-distraction.
Let's see how this plays out then. So, in terms of the ability that's being used, normally something like hunt be used for. Am I right?
A hunt, I suppose would be a thing in this.
But your intention could mean that there's other abilities that you.
I'm trying to command a good disarm.
I mean, nice try.
I suppose because of the shot and everything.
It could be finesse. You can.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe a little bit of finesse in that.
It's a tricky shot.
It's a very tricky shot, and it's
so. I'm going to accept that. I'll accept finesse as a bit of a tricky shot. So let's.
I think in this case I will push myself.
Okay. Sure.
Your little man's gun.
I need to get my little man's got a gun because I ticked it. Now we're waving a gun around in the background. Yeah.
Let him have it, Ken.
I'm gonna roll.
Oh, the mixed ones. I don't like the mixed ones.
I think a 5. That's pretty good.
Okay. So you shoot the knife out of his hand exactly as you wanted to.
Yep.
But we have a complication. And I think what that complication is, I'm going to check these two boxes as the gunshot is heard outside.
Yes, fair, yeah.
And so the two thugs that have just entered the alley turn around after they hear the shot and they sprint back to Betty.
Yeah. That's
Aggie.
fine.
Hello.
So you have run. You're at the opposite end of the alley. You hear a gunshot. The two guys that were at the far end of the alley, they seem to have forgotten their friend who's rolling around in the floor screaming in pain. And they kind of vanish into the fog at the end of the alley.
I will come out the alley. I know it sounds ridiculous. Like, come out round the buildings and head back towards the shop, running fast.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so you're going to do that. Inside the shop, you're aware of the rattling of chain on the door and banging a heavy shout, banging on the door, shouting as these guys are trying to force open the door. There is a knife kind of just dropped onto the floor, bang, right in front of you. Toma, you do anything?
Let's stab a bitch.
Oh, you're gonna grab the knife and.
Yeah, well, I wanted to get behind him, try and get in the office, but let's Stab him.
Stabby.
I'm gonna.
You're going to. Okay.
So what? I said I'm from on the left.
You're kind of on his right, because he's facing you.
And the
You're
knife
kind of
was
on
in
the
his right hand.
He's dropped the knife. Yeah.
So-
I mean, it's dropped and kind of rolled slightly on the floor. You can grab a hold of it and go
I'm
for
just-
it if you so desire.
I'm just thinking if it was that hand, then he'd be holding it. I'm guessing. So I'm gonna pick it up and try and stab down on his shoulder.
Okay. The intention here is to. I mean, you're not trying to kill him, are you? You're just trying to.
No, just try to. They said I'm gonna disarm him more. But literally, I'm just gonna try and stab in the.
Cuts his hand off. That he's fully disarmed.
Yeah, he's holding his hand because that one's been shot, and I'm gonna stab him in the shoulder of his sore arm, essentially. So he's like over here, so I'm gonna stab like at the back, kind of thing.
Okay, this guy. I mean, he can handle him. He's not. I mean, he's quite tough by the looks of him.
Yeah.
If
feel
you
like
fail, if you fail, then there's probably a good chance that with his good arm, he's gonna smack you up. How do you want to deal with this?
I'm wondering if I can offer an assistance.
You can always offer an assistance, Jake. How you want to?
I've trained Kelev to understand certain command words.
Oh, he's very highly trained.
And I'm going to mention the command word. I'm going to go Kelev Butnim, and that's his signal to go after that guy's nuts, like just to chomp down.
You train your dog this?
I mean, it's a very good defensive move.
Okay.
I had to put peanut butter in an unfortunate position for this to work on, but.
Okay.
I mean, am I playing, evil?
I know, I like it. So yeah, you can assist your teammate with this. Kelev.
I'm assuming it's skirmish.
I think that's probably a good one. It depends how you're doing it. I mean, there's an argument for wreck as well, if you want.
I mean, I am trying to wreck him, but I don't know if that's the thing, because I'm literally just bending down, picking it up, bringing it up as tall as I can, and stabbing down on his shoulder. That's essentially what I'm doing. Swinging it up, and stabbing down.
I mean, if you say skirmish, then skirmish it will be.
Yeah, because I think wreck is more to things that actually like explode.
Okay.
I would like to question whether or not this counts as assistance. So basically, I have just shot the weapon out of his hand and everything. I am kind of still pointing the gun at him, but I would move forward and try and kick the knife away from him and everything.
Well,
I think anti-assistance.
I think Bang is grabbing the knife.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's the knife I'm grabbing.
Okay, we'll kick that away then.
Yeah, I'm taking his knife.
But I mean, yeah.
But I think we can only. I think you can only assist.
How can you only assist
anyway.
one? So I'm not assisting them.
But.
To be fair, the button has gone dark.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have any dice.
That's because I put it on.
You don't
You're
have
assisting.
any dice. It's risk. But you do. You have one dice because you're getting assist. So you will be rolling one dice. It's not like you're rolling two.
Is she still taking the lower though because she's not skilled?
No. Because
we're assisting.
She gets one dice. So there's that. You can push yourself. To get yourself another dice if you wish. There's also the devil's bargain thing, but I'm not sure what the devil's bargain would be in this instance. Devil's bargain is basically a complication that was going to occur regardless of whether you succeed or fail in this roll. Anybody can suggest any of things, a devil's bargain. Anybody can say, if they can think of something, a complication that might occur.
I mean, I've already thought of my own complication, but it's just like, that's brutal.
What are you thinking? Oh, okay. What would it be?
Well,
another gang is planning the same thing we are.
So the thing with the devil's bargain is you don't have to take it. It can be offered to you.
Yeah.
But you don't have to take it. Okay, but if you do, you'll get an extra die.
Wow.
So it's either some devil's bargain or push yourself.
Yeah.
This early in the game, I would push yourself because
I tried to. Well, yeah. I mean, I've already thought of something bad that could happen, and that could be fucked up. But yeah.
Yeah, we don't really want anything worse now at this point, if we can avoid it, because.
Well, yeah, because I'm the person that has, in my mind, I have a bandolier of chemicals on me, so...
Yeah, well, no, you're not even injured yet, so maybe leave it for the next one, maybe, because there's 3 more guys coming through the door in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll just push myself.
Okay.
Go
on then.
So it's just the 2 dice. Let's go.
I hate a mixed success.
Oh, a mixed success.
At least.
Oh, we have a gap.
Whoa.
Okay, so you've got a mixed success. So you do it. You jam the knife into his shoulder blade. You can feel it slip between the bones there, and he howls in pain. But he kind of, at that point, lashes out. He lashes out with his other arm, and he connects with you. Stand it. So, yeah, he's going to hit you with a meaty fist from his other arm. It's actually got blood on it because he's just had the knife shot out of that hand. But you're gonna take a level 2 harm thing here, unless you wish to resist.
Or wear armor.
I don't wear armor.
Okay.
Would it be appropriate to say that he's maybe knocking Kelev out of the way?
No, don't hit the dog. No.
No.
We gotta hit the dog.
Oh, that could have been the downside, that he hit the dog.
I'm not making that deal with the devil. No.
Sure. So, you want to make a resistance roll for that? It'll be prowess again if you're going to do it.
What's
so
the
the resistance roll is you will roll on your prowess. It's going to be a single dice.
Yeah.
You will take stress equal to 6 minus whatever you roll on it.
Let's try it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Gambling, that's what we're doing.
Incur 6 stress minus the dice roll. And I've got 2 dice. Is that
you got
right?
2 dice, so that's good. No, so you roll, and your highest roll is a 5, so you take 1 stress, which is great. So that's going to reduce that to a level 1 harm. So he's giving you a black eye. You're on level 1.
Where do I do harm on here?
So harm
Underplay.
Unplay.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Character sheet under plate.
So level...
Top box is level 1. So you...
and black eye. Oh, it went away.
Oh, yeah, he does that. I've been letting you type. Yeah, it's a good feature.
let me add that in for you then. I don't know why it's doing that.
It's just flicking. Okay.
You just get 1 letter in and it goes. It's great.
Oh, yeah, because it's not like you can select it either.
No.
Oh, straight.
Allow me to add that in.
Yeah, we should say it once again. Multiverse is new. It's working in beta. Yeah, so please don't judge too harshly. But it's lovely.
No.
System.
It's really cool. This is really
good job,
cool.
It's pretty.
Okay, so that's basically what's happened. But he kind of goes down to his knees, screaming, as this knife is jabbed into his shoulder. And who's up?
If I can, I'd like to burst past him since he's incapacitated or at least in pain. He shouldn't be hard.
So.
I would love to confront Finney.
Okay, there's a guy. Yeah, he's kind of still standing behind the desk. He's looking petrified. He's a smaller guy. He's quite tubby, middle-aged fella. He's kind of bald, big beard. He's not particularly tall. He's in his shirt sleeves at this moment. He seems to be searching his desk, looking for something to defend himself. Burst in.
No, I'm not. As I walk in, I'm going to give him some visual cues. So I'm going to go, Kelev Shev, and Kelev sits.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to walk over towards the bar where the drink was being prepared. I'm going to take a nice, generous serving of whiskey, and I'm going to pass it out to him. Finny, here. You're going to need this.
And with a shaking hand, he takes it from you.
This by Aces walks through the door as well.
Cool.
Finny, let me offer you some of my whiskey. Do you accept?
Well, he takes the glass from you. It doesn't quite register what you've just said to him.
Okay.
In terms of, let me offer you some of my whiskey. He takes it and he gulps it down. He's looking at his colleague, who is kind of kneeling down in the doorway, kind of whimpering, with this knife sticking out of his shoulder.
I'm going
to say to him, you know, the thing about people from Severos is we stick together. We do. You're not from Severos. Vreen has dismissed you.
What? Vreen? What are you talking about? What?
You call him Master Vreen. To me, he's just Vreen.
He's looking across at the guy that's kind of kneeling in the doorway, almost crying.
Can I have a flashback?
What do you want a flashback?
So, before we came,
Yes.
whilst we were at the race course, Aces would have gone to the administration centre and acquired the legal document to transfer ownership of the stall on the course and the gambling license.
Okay.
The one for Finny.
For these. Okay.
And I brought it with me, and I'm just going to pull it out and place it in front of him with a pen.
Okay. Let's say that's thing. Now it's a flashback.
Yeah.
Fairly complex one. I think it's going to cost you 2 stress.
Okay. Because I do have to. Yeah, I probably have to convince these people to give me that farm fare. Yeah.
So you've got yourself, 2 stress on. You've got these documents, and you kind of put them down in front of him.
Yep.
And he looks across at the guy in the doorway. He says, Chains, what's going on? What's going on? What is it? What is the meaning of this? We already have an arrangement. And he points at the guy in the doorway. What are you doing? What's the meaning of this?
The arrangements changed. Sign or die. Either way, it's ours.
Awesome. Now, it sounds. Yeah. There are guys banging on the door, by the way, trying to make their way in. Do you want to? We're gonna have to make a roll for this.
Yeah.
How?
I definitely say we're trying to intimidate him, but probably being a bit more commanding about it. I don't know whether you want to make it.
No, I think command is it seems a perfectly acceptable role to make here.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think that maybe my presence isn't assisting if it's command. Is it my presence, or is it the fact that I'm like how?
I mean, if you want to kind of stand there and look intimidating with the dog and everything, then sure, you can assist.
You're holding the pen.
This is going to be controlled, this role at this point, I think.
Yep.
Oh no, it's going to be risky because we've got the guys banging on the door. Now,
looks like our friends have come to join us. As I hear the banging,
you have a bruised jaw, which is meant to reduce the effect of a roll that you make. So it's going to be limited in this instance. You can, if you wish, change that to a desperate roll and push that back up to standard.
I feel like I've got a little bit of stress more to give, and this is like a pinnacle moment. Like this is, we need this. So yeah, I'm gonna push myself on this.
Well, it's gonna be. I'm gonna move it to desperate.
Yeah.
Standard. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
sorry, I was muted. Sorry, I just said. It's a group. You could do it as a group.
No, it's doing assist. It's not a group action. This isn't.
Okay. All right then. Because we'll look at the group thing another day. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's see what happens.
Nice.
Didn't even need the second one.
Wow.
Critical success.
Wow.
First critical success of our adventures together.
Yay!
And he's on the main bit of the mission. Yay! With the bit we needed.
He just grabs the paper from you, and he with a shaking hand, he's written with his pen. He scribbles his name down on that, and he kind of hands it to you. He looks across disparagingly at the guy that's weeping in the doorway, and he says, I guess it's time for you to leave. And the guy with the knife in his shoulder, he kind of staggers to his feet and makes his way towards the door. Aggie, you arrive around the corner. You can see these two guys banging on the door at this point. And bang.
Yes.
This guy is pushing past, making his way down the aisle. He's kind of staggering. He's crying a little bit with this knife in his shoulder. And he kind of is heading towards the front door.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to have a think. Like, obviously, I'm thinking if there's any, like, drugs or anything that I would carry that would ease his pain in any weird way.
Why would you want to do that? Don't you hate you evil gangsters?
Sign of weakness.
If anything, you'd get the knife and turn it.
No, because, like, we might need them in the future. We've just come in and fucked this guy up.
Yeah.
I mean, you did return his knife to him, and you sheathed it in his shoulder.
I mean, I'm not going to say that.
He's not going to lose it now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
I will point out, this is a rival gang. And doing what you've done, you're going to be at -2 status with them. So they are going to be coming back at some point.
They know it was us, though.
They know it was you, and they will exact bloody revenge. So
this is why I
wouldn't be too nice.
Well, this is why I was trying to, like, give him something. I mean, whether he wanted it or not, just basically drug him up and then let him out the door.
You do whatever you like. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you think Bang would do.
Yes, because it's a very weird, quirky way to do it. It's like, oh, I've stabbed you, but roll. Okay, now here, have something to make so you can't feel the pain, and off you pop.
All in a day's work. Gang work.
That's essentially what it is. Like, I won't think. I mean, I know they're gonna hate us, but it's like, I feel bad. You know, we've got what we wanted. Here, have something to ease the pain. Whether it's actually helps him or not, I don't know. He could literally just, I don't know, go into so high that he's just wandering the streets thinking there's pink elephants or something. I don't know. I don't care. I'm literally just going to give him something, take the chains off the door, and tell him they're not needed. Take your guy home. Bye.
Yeah, and now we've had the critical success there from Aces. So yeah, you kind of well, you kind of give him some kind of pain relief, I guess. Unwrap your chain from the door. His two friends are waiting on the outside. They look like they're about to go and break in and fuck everybody up, but when they see the state of their leader, and he kind of basically says, "Go, let's go," and they kind of wander off. Just as Aggie, you're kind of making your way across the road. You see all this happening.
Oh.
Yeah, I just sort of like stealthily like go round them and get into the shop.
Well, you don't have to sneak around them. They're leaving.
Yeah.
With their tails
So there's
between
no
their
one
legs.
else left in the shop.
Only Finney and the two employees who...
Just cowering in a corner, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's it, basically. Yeah, they work for you now, I think is what they're going. What we're going.
Okay, so I run in the shop and I'll go, "Who am I stabbing?"
A bit late.
Nobody needs stabbing in here. Oh, good. We stabbed that guy. He's gone. And you just see this guy, this big, huge guy with a knife just sticking out of his back, just trundling up the street.
Crying. And I think that was our score. That was successful, I think.
Yay, go us!
Yeah, it is. We now have our little booth.
You do.
Legally.
I do feel a little bad for Finney, so I would mention to him that there is a post opening up at the racetrack for Pooper Scooper. And